Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvaditam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvedi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Satkurum Tam Namami. Hi everyone. Welcome to episode 3. So, the other day in episode 2, we were talking about integrity and how integrity is not about morality or ethics, that integrity is more about how you identify you to yourself and how and whether your thoughts, your talk, and your actions are all in alignment. If they are, you're integrated. If they're out of alignment, your thoughts, your speech, your actions, you're not integrated. And then, what are we integrated to? Be integrated to Bhagavan, be integrated to your higher self is where we left off. What was funny is, first actually I do want to tender my apologies to Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. When I was talking about the Ravana story the other day, I took Sri Ramachandra Prabhu's Bhagavan's name too casually. I was just like, hey Rama, Ravana. So I offer my apologies to Sri Ramachandra Prabhu Bhagavan. I mean, he doesn't probably care at all, but I do, and I felt bad. So, it felt so bad even now I'm stumbling over Sri Ramachandra Prabhu's name. You see that? So we have to always be mindful of these incompletions and complete them right away. So I'm completing that with Sri Rama. Virumale, please forgive me. Okay. So, the other day when I was finishing that episode, someone came by and I meant it as a compliment. They said, wow, you look like such a spiritual person. You look so beautiful. And, they asked, where I came from, who I was. And I just said, look, I'm coming from Kailasa and this is my guru, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And I enriched them about the guru. What was funny about that is this happens a lot. And the thing is, people ask, hey, how come so many beautiful people follow Swamiji? And the answer is, well, we follow Swamiji, and Swamiji makes us beautiful through Diksha. The beauty of the completion of the Paramatman space from the inside out is what people are reacting to. It doesn't go to my head because very soon after that, I was in town, walking around like this, and somebody came up and made a rude comment, basically in the local language, but basically to the effect of, look at this half-naked effing guy. Why doesn't he get a job? Blah, 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 blah. So on the one hand, I got praised. On the other hand, I got condemned, all on the same day. So, Krishna reminds us of that in the Gita. Praise, condemnation, this all applies to the Jivatma, but when the Paramatma is manifesting, the sounds that are coming out of people's mouths, whether praise or condemnation, are all the same. So, in that kind of space, I wanted to talk about that expression where that person essentially was like, look at this guy, who does he think he is? What a freak. So let's talk about that freak. We're all freaks for something, right? Like one of your friends who's really into music might say, I'm a music freak. Someone who's really into cricket or football might say, man, cricket, football is my life. I'm a cricket freak. I'm a music freak. We know all sorts of freaks, foodie freaks. So we're all freaking about something, chasing behind something, right? What that guy really meant with his comment was, what a freak chasing behind God, behind Perumal. And I stand accused. I love Krishna. I love Bhagavan. I love my Guru. I love Paramashiva. And I am a freak for that. So today let's talk about how and why I became a Hindu freak, a Krishna freak, a Paramashiva freak, a Kailasa freak, and a freak for Hinduism and the Hindu Sanatana Dharma. Let's talk a little bit about that. Okay. Well, we have to start with my personal journey if we're going to talk about that, right? The question really is, what started the transformation? Well, I did have, a nice matrix existence, and I still have a nice matrix existence, to answer that fellow's question. I was a freak for college and doing well in grad school. Attended the top universities, The league table would be like Stanford, Harvard, that kind of thing. And then I was a freak as a businessman, startup guy, and the best kind of outcome for startup freaks is you build a startup, you sell it, and you make a lot of money. And so I was that kind of freak too. Did well, exited the startup, founded another one. That one did well too. So on and so forth. And then I was a freak for the popular culture, watching the movies, going out to dinner, being like, this is Michelin star rated. I was a freak for, the stylish short haircut, the light, line right there, looking real trim. I was a freak for the watches. Now all the jewelry I wear, by the way, is all just sacred jewelry. Everything is given from the Guru with the high vibration. I was a freak for all the things, I guess, the current system brainwashes us into. Freak for all of that. The restaurant culture, the movie culture, cinema culture, sports culture. None of that is bad or wrong. I'm just saying that's who I was. I was a freak for all of that. So then around 2008 or so, I remember my father started showing me YouTube videos of Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. At that time, Bhagavan had a really young-looking body, young-looking face, and my father said, hey, look at this guy. He seems really young, but so knowledgeable. He's talking about Brahma Sutras, Yoga Sutras. And I remember I was a freak for all the things English, British, and American. So, dressed in my designer jeans. I had my designer sunglasses, looking real cool. Walked up there, looked at YouTube, and I saw Bhagavan in his gold and his Hindu jewelry, his Hindu Indian clothes, sitting on the Simhasana. And I was like, Dad, you're a freak. This guy, this Swamiji's a freak. Oh my God, look at them. What a weirdo. He looks so Indian. He looks so Hindu. And viscerally, I was repulsed. I thought my father was an idiot, that my father was mesmerized, brainwashed. Why would you listen to this nonsense? Let me go back and be the CEO in my office. That was the mindset. I think it's a pretty common mindset because we all run common operating systems, right? Since before we were born and as soon as we're born, there's trillions of capex spent on installing certain software programs into our mind, kind of like your iPhone. Turn off your iPhone, it's blank. Turn it on, lots of apps. People are installing lots of apps into the blank space of our inner space. Advertising, what our parents say, school, movies, popular culture, our friends, the games we play, everything we see and hear in the society, in the social ecosystem, all of that installs apps, which then controls the way we think, behave, and feel. So I was running all those apps, and that's why I thought that way. But then something very interesting happened. Somehow, whether it's Purva Janma Punyam or Perumal Anugraham, or the Guru's grace, watching those YouTube videos of Swamiji with my father stuck with me. So a few years later, there was an occasion to do a very intimate program called Inner Awakening with Swamiji, where Swamiji is physically present, just standing right there. We're standing right here. You can touch, talk. You're in his breathing space, answer any questions, get all sorts of initiations. Beautiful experience. But I didn't go. Oh, some of my friends said, wow, there's a cruise ship leaving from Singapore, and it's going to do a cruise in the South China Sea. And the Inner Awakening program is going to be conducted on the cruise ship. It's going to be amazing. 21 days on a cruise ship with Swamiji, intimate setting, small group of people. I thought, what a bunch of freaks. Let me just relax, go to Bangalore, hang out with my friends, see my mama, enjoy my family. Well, about a day before the cruise ship was departing from Singapore and that Inner Awakening program starting, something inside me said, go, go, go. That voice kept saying, go, 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 while I was awake, when I was asleep that night. And all of us, I think, experience that voice from time to time, that inner voice that often tells us what the right thing to do is. But the Jivatman, the ego, sometimes cognizes the right thing as a difficult or hard choice, and we move away from that, don't listen to that voice, and do something else. For whatever reason, I listened to the voice, and my friends, family all thought I was a freak, I was crazy, but I just jumped on a plane, flew to Singapore, and I was ready to do it. But mind you, this is a cruise ship, not an airplane, and the logistics are different. So I had to go to the port of Singapore, and I met one of the senior sannyasis there, and I said, this is who I am. I'm sorry I didn't sign up in advance, but I want to join the program. Can I do that? And she said, look, there's no problem joining the program, but there is a problem getting the tickets to come aboard the cruise ship on which the program was conducted. So I said, what do you mean? She said, well, cruise ships have different types of logistics governed by maritime law. Each ship is flagged with the country of its administration. It could be the same ship. At one time, it's flying the Italian flag. A few months later, on a different excursion, it's flying the flag of France, let's say. Anyway, this ship was flagged with the Italian flag. And it was Saturday that I had arrived there. And she said, look, the cruise tickets can't just be bought at a counter or through an app like, at least for this one, like airplane tickets, they have to be issued by the central office flagged in Italy, and they're closed over the weekend. So your best option is to, we're going to let them know that you want to purchase the cruise ship tickets, and the administration in Italy, when they come back to the office after the weekend, 3 days later, Saturday, Sunday, and then by Monday they should come. They can issue the tickets, so by Tuesday you could join us. But I said, well, where will you guys be? She said, we're not sure. There might be a fuel stop along the way, so you'll have to meet us at a port in a different country. And I said, okay, I guess I'll do that. So what happened was, as the cruise ship departed Singapore, going along the South China Sea, maybe around 3 days later, it was scheduled to stop at a fuel stop in Thailand. So I flew over to Thailand, and I landed in Bangkok. But the fuel port is like maybe 200, 300 kilometers south of Bangkok in some remote location. It's a fuel stop for a port. It's not a commercial port. It's not a retail port. Not a lot of people go there. Ships just stop, refuel, fuel, and they get off. It's not even a disembarkation point for the tourists aboard the cruise ship. So somehow I convinced a local taxi driver in Bangkok to drive me, that 200-300 kilometer distance. And as he's driving, as we're getting closer, he's looking at me strangely like, are you sure this is where you want to go? This is not a place for normal people to go. This is a, industrial port. And I said, yeah, no, it is. Something inside me said, go, go, go. So we reached there, and it's just kind of industrial port. It's so big that I hardly see any ships in the distance. I'm probably like 2 square kilometers or something. It was massive. But there was a front office. So I went to the front office and I asked them, do you know about an Italian ship? There's a meditation program. They all speak Thai. They looked at me blankly. Everyone was confused. But corner of my eye, I heard 2 people kind of speaking in English about, an interesting yoga program. And I looked over and it looked like 2 crew members, the type that might be staffing a ship. I walked over to them and I said, hey, is there a yoga program being conducted on your ship, a meditation program? They said, yeah. They're all looking at me strangely though. And I said, I'm supposed to be on there. They said to meet them at the fuel port. I'm a passenger on the program, but I wasn't able to board at Singapore. I'm boarding here. After a few moments of back and forth, they said, okay, we'll drive you there. And good thing I ran into them. Of course, everything is arranged. Once someone takes the decision out of integrity, that this is what I want to be aligned to, the universe, Bhagavan, starts to arrange things for you. And that's what was happening. But I didn't know that at the time. So I'm racing, trying to follow them to their car. They're looking at me strangely, and I convince them, they wave me. I come over, get in the car. They drive me, and slowly as we're driving through this port, again, it's huge, then I start to see the seashore. I start to see different ships, and they say, that's the ship. So again, it's a fuel stop, so it's not main passenger entry. There's just a narrow gangplank to a little door that opens, and then once that door opens, you're into the ship. But because I didn't have any official tickets, I couldn't go through that door. So I walked up the gangplank, and there's a tiny little hall, maybe enough for like 4 people, ingress and egress. And the sannyasi who I've been talking to comes out. She says, I'm so glad you're here. In 12 hours, the office opens, and in 14 hours, we're leaving. So if you wait here for 12 hours and we get the tickets, then I can talk to the captain and you can board. Again, no problem on our side. We'd love to have you in the program, but legally you can't cross this tiny gangplank door and enter the cruise ship unless you have tickets and the captain gives it's okay. So I just stood there. There wasn't even a little chair. You just had to stand. And I wasn't nervous. I wasn't kind of getting disturbed. Something washed over me, and I knew this was where I had to be. So I'm waiting there patiently over 10 hours. About the 5th hour, a staff member, a crew member comes over, talks to me and says, who are you? Kind of strange that you're here. And I said, and I explained the whole situation. And then he said, okay, well, do you want a chair? And I said, sure. I'd love a chair. So he brought a little chair for me. I sat down, waiting another 5 hours, another 2 hours. Now it's 12 hours. The captain opens a tiny little door along with the sannyasi and says, hey, we received your tickets. You can come on board. So I walk to that tiny little door and boom, I'm in the cruise ship lobby. Any of you ever been in a cruise ship, you know, it's like a casino, massive hotel on the seas. Whoa, lights up. And mind you, I've been chasing this cruise ship port to port, 3 days, landed, Thailand, Bangkok, fuel stop, waiting in this small gangplank area. I thought, okay, let me just get some rest, but nope. The sannyasi says, Kala Bhairava Darshan is happening, Bhava Samadhi Darshan, just like Ramakrishna before and Vivekananda and so many saints, they enter a space where the Bhagavan, the deity, manifests through them in a sacred ritual called Bhava Samadhi Darshan, and you will receive the darshan of Kala Bhairava. Come. So I'm rushing, get to a small auditorium, and there's all these people sitting in chairs, there's a stage, but the mood is very somber, it's meditative, sacred ritual. Swamiji appears. Kala Bhairava is manifesting through Swamiji. I'm looking around and all I see are freaks. I see people going like this. Oh! This was Kundalini Shakti moving. See, chakras are real. Kundalini Shakti is real. And the Guru's initiation opens up the chakras. activates Kundalini Devi to move through the chakras, through the Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Anya, Sahasrara. And one can achieve this over millions of years through Kundalini Yoga practice, or in one lifetime. Millions of years meaning millions of lifetimes on their own. Or in one lifetime with the Guru's initiation. I didn't know all of that, of course. I just thought, what a bunch of freaks. Why am I here? Losers, freaks. And then Swamiji calls me up. And he had never met me, this body, before, but he knew my name. And he said, come closer. You are him? And I said, yes. And he went like this, boom, touched my third eye. Next thing I knew, I was off the stage and sitting down in a chair. And I thought, that was strange. I was just on the stage. I don't remember walking down and getting in a chair. I turned to the person next to me, and they informed me that it had been 20 minutes since I'd been on the stage. What had happened was, when Swamiji touched me on the stage, I felt this nuclear explosion at the Muladhara chakra. All the stuff I thought was lame, stupid, unbelievable, freakish, a lie, a fraud, blah, blah. Well, guess what? I got the Sakshi Pramanam. And in a daze, I apparently walked down and sat in that chair in some type of Bhava Samadhi state. The software was installed. It cleared out all the other apps that were running. And the process had started. I had had the Kundalini awakening. And that's when I first had the actual Sakshi Pramanam. The Shastras say this is real, Bhagavan is real, Kundalini is real, Chakras are real. All the Aptas, all the other great saints in their commentaries are saying this is all real. Then the Atma right before me, Swamiji, gave me the initiation, and I had the Sakshi Pramanam, the experience. I'll stop there. But yes, I'm a freak. I'm a freak for Hinduism, I'm a freak for yoga, I'm a freak for Bhagavan, and I had the Sakshi Pramanam. And that's what gives me this confidence to speak about this to you, to myself, and to spread the gospel of Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Because to all you other freaks out there, become a Hindu freak and enjoy this world from that perspective. Enjoy the Kundalini manifestation. Enjoy the energy and power that comes when your chakra is fully open and Paramatma, Paramashiva downloads into you and manifests. We'll talk more about this Sakshi Pramanam, talk more about this experience, but I probably have gone on way too long already. Well, I hope I have a patient audience, but again, I'm just kind of documenting all these experiences for myself. If you guys enjoy a little bit here and there and get enriched, that's great. I'm like a Walmart, lots of shelves, take what you need. But so many more experiences to share. But I'll stop there and conclude with the Purna mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Santi Santi Santihi Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukar Arpanamastu Om Nithyanandam